Alright, just keep this video simple here. I had to torque the hell out of this thing. I got it loose, so to a degree, this thing was on here. It was on here really good, so, but it worked. So, as far as keeping, pushing it back, working this barrel nut off. Try not to scratch this thing up too much. There we go. Now it's finger loose. Get that off. I swear. So getting so damn ahead of myself here instead of slowing down. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this all down. Alright, this is going to be my free float barrel from BCM, Bravo Company manufacturer. So, let's pull this out. Let's see, everything comes in here. Of course, you got some extra tools, extra pieces. There you go. Comes with everything tools that you will need. Wrench, the nut, barrel nut, and even some blue thread locker. Guys, remember, anytime you're messing with this thing and you got to screw these things or torque down any nut bolts on it, in order to keep it in place, blue thread locker. So it's either blue thread locker here for Loctite. Make sure it is blue, not red. So I think it's blue or purple and come in different colors or something like that. I've always seen blue and red. So blue for medium strength, no red. You do not want to torque it down with red thread locker. You will catch hell if you ever have to pull it apart. Believe me, you will catch much hell. Alright, guys, got some daylight here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to brush this nut off upper here, clean the threads out real good. If it has any carbon, which you can see, there's a little carbon buildup there. I'm going to clean all this carbon out of here and brush it out. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub a little bit of high temp lithium grease. You can use high temp lithium grease, that's what they recommend, or moly paste for this barrel nut. So I'm going to rub this down in here on the inside of the thread as instructed. Let me say, lube this thread up real good in here. Not to go buck wild crazy, but it's either one. Like I said, I used a high temp because this thing is going to get extremely hot. So they said either one works, but it's got to be specifically either one, moly paste or high temp lithium grease. All right. Now we're going to set the barrel back in, and you got a tab, and it's got an alignment tab, so you can't misalign the barrel. It's going to go back in the same way. You just line the little dowel notch right back into the tab, locks in. Just slide the barrel nut on. Torque this down. don't want to burr this thing. When they say torque it, you'll need a torque wrench because it says the torque is between 40 and 50 pounds of torque. And then back it off, then do it again, do it 4 times. Alright, what's really cool is that it comes with a wrench that's for the barrel nut. So it comes in with the handguard. That's pretty cool because it slips right over here, slides in, and then get your torque wrench. As I said, I'm going to torque this thing down. Okay, everything's lined up. Of course, I'm going to hold this bad boy here and try to hold it up as much as I can with my workbench here, what I have. Let's see if it works. This may be an issue if I can't get the proper torque. Got lucky. Yes, it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to back it off and do this 4 times. Alright, got it torqued down. They said you got to do it 4 times. So you got to torque it down, loosen it up, torque it down. Do that 4 times. Mainly it's to stretch the thread so it'll seat. So the barrel seats tight and everything. But they also say if you burr this nut a little bit, you got to file it down and smooth it. And I got to burr. I've got to burr a couple spots. You know, I got one little one, and I got a really good one over here on this back side of this nut right here. So I gotta file this down. There you go. And like I said, they expect you to burr it because it's such a, even though the tool is really good to tighten this down, but you get sitting at a device and you're trying to get leverage on it a little bit as much as you can. You got to torque it, like I said, between 40 and 50 pounds. I set my torque at 45 pounds, so it's right in the middle. And I burred it just on that last torque, on that 4th one. And I burred it just a little bit though, but it's good. As long as it's smooth, it's flush. So you don't have to dig or grind down into it. You just want to just nick that burr off. That's good to go for the next step. All right, now per instructions, it says that you're going to need a heat gun and you got to get this hot because you want to push this on. You said do not wiggle it, shake it. You got to push it straight onto the barrel nut here. So I'm going to heat this thing up, get it good and hot. Then you've got this little keeper piece right here, which locks on each side of your Picatinny rail, your upper rail. And this goes on with it as well at the same time. So it locks in. This is to help avoid it from, once it locks down, top rail from shimming or shifting on you at all. So this is actually a lock bracket for it. But as I said, I got to heat this whole thing up, get it good and hot, and then slide it on here and press it. And so you can use a rubber mallet to tap it straight on, but it's light taps and it's like you can't, like I said, you don't want, they said not to wiggle this thing, you gotta slide it straight on. So let me heat this thing up. All right, now that I got this thing good, it's hot. Nice and hot. Slide this on. Try not to shake, but I want to line this up. And it might have to tap it so I get it lined up. Square. It's a rubber mallet. And the sides. To slide this rail on here. Mount it over, twist it. It is tight. Everything is level. Picatinny rails tight right across. Let's go to the next step. All right, now it's time to set the locks in for the handrail, this handguard. But this is pretty cool what BCM does here with this. This is really nice. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna try to get this in front of you so you can possibly see it. But if I can get this to focus, this is actually, it's hard to see because I know it's low light, and I'm sorry guys. Let me see and lighten it up. There we go. This is actually a star head, okay? And then you've got your regular, okay, you got your regular hex head, all right? Now, the thing is with, of course, you've got mounts here, but the thing is this star head goes in on the right side. And it has to be lined up with the hole here, right there, so the screw can come through the other side so it travels, because this actually is a lock as well. So this locks this together. Sorry about that. And it's kind of hard to see because I'm holding it. But this will lock, and I'll show you. Alright, so I'm going to check the holes here. Now I'm going to check the holes, make sure I've got travel with this. It's just a little bit. It's just a little bit of interference. Just a little bit. And what that means is I got to back this rail out just a hair. Just a hair. I got to back it off so I can get the travel, so I get that nut to travel through. Alright. Now I backed it off just enough, and I'm not beating on it. I'm not going to beat through it. I give it a little tap with a rubber mallet. As long as it doesn't burr the threads, and it's not actually, because it didn't really stop on that. So, but I can give it a slight tap, guide it through. And as I said, this one has to be set first. So I'm going to back this back out, tap it back out so I can set. So I can set this one. Because I've got to screw this one in first. So, drop this in. See, that one slides through. And actually, well, got ahead of myself here. Alright, back to where it was. As I said, this one's got to go through first. So I can screw this one in and set this screw here, because it is a locking screw. And what's cool, they give you all the tools in the entire kit for this guard here. So you don't have to go out if you got your tools, great, but they provide the wrenches that you need. Everything. So let me flip this around. Okay, so now I'm gonna, and they tell you don't over torque. Just line it up, torque it, and line it up, but don't over torque because it's going to get tight quick. So it's going to torque. And then, as I said, now I'm going to tap this one through just a little bit because it's just enough to where it'll start. And then I can tighten this one up all the way through, and it will tighten up on this side. So this is the set. This is the set bolt. It'll set this, snug it here, did it set, and then I'll torque it with this one right here. And then this one locks. So this is a, when I saw this in the kit, I could have pulled out my damn my Torx head, screwdriver set, but I was like, you know what, and I didn't feel like digging it out. So, especially when I saw that it came with, and as you see, it's coming through right here. Then I'm gonna snug this one, but I'm not gonna over torque. I'm just gonna snug it, hand snug it just a little bit. because I don't want to burr the thread or screw this head, the star head up. This one's already set. So this one, it comes through and it locks this one. So I snug this one. I said, don't over torque it, like I said. Set it. Then this one here, I give it a little bit more torque. This one will come through to snug it tight. But what I did forget was to put the supplied blue thread locker on this. Let me back this out because it's just stretched just enough. I can back this thing out, reset this, and put these back on, put this thread locker on it, and torque it down permanent. Done. All right, put the supplied thread locker that's on it, put it on here. The supplied blue comes with it. I could have went with my blue Loctite, but they put this in here. I'm sure they put it in for a reason, so it could be towards because of strength. So it's good enough. One-time use. That's good. Everything is torqued down. It's lined up. Gas block is in. Everything is run. Now, I'm checking out, make sure that bolt carrier sliding into there at night, no problem, no friction. It's right back into the barrel. No issue. Always check functionality. Make sure there's nothing hanging up. It's not burred or anything, any obstruction that's in there for that bolt carrier. Everything runs back. Block is tight. Everything's tight. Now it's time to put the muzzle brake back on. Of course, you got to remember the way that the crush washer was orientated to put it back on the exact same way. It's orientated that way. We'll screw this back on. I'll line this back up, and instead of using this, I'm going to use a 3/4 wrench on this one. Alright, it's time to put this back on. As I said, you got to make sure you put this crush washer back on the way it came off. So put it back in the same orientation actually. This is tapered, so it's pretty self-explanatory. The taper end will go around and fits flush with the barrel, as to where the wide flange end fits flush with the muzzle brake. So screw this bad boy back on. Torque it down where we just line it up. Now I could have used 3/4, but actually I went through my wrenches and find out this thing is actually a 19 millimeter, but you can use a 3/4 though. So it works. Works out just the same. So I'm gonna torque this down to line it back up. Two wrench flush. Straight up and down. The brake is back oriented the way it was. To it just about a little bit more, just a shade more.